Kerr 9000's game room.
Hyperzone is a shooter video game developed by HAL Laboratory, yep, the fellows responsible for Kirby. Obviously it's a SNES game, as I'm reviewing it here as part of my 150 SNES review series. The gameplay is usually defined as being a cross between a racer and a shooter. If I wanted to describe it, I'd probably do so as follows. Basically the game is Space Harrier meets F-Zero. If you've played those titles, which I guess the majority of people will have, then this will probably start to put you in the right frame of mind for this game. Okay, so the object of the game is to try to safely navigate each level while shooting enemies and earning points. When you reach the end of the level, then you will do battle with a boss. If you earn enough points, then the next time you start a new level, your ship will be replaced with a new upgraded ship. I have to admit, I really like the fact that you see your guy leave his old ship and enter the new one. It's just a neat little touch. There are 8 levels to the game and there are 6 available upgraded ships, so it's worth trying to rack up as many points as you can. The game this game most closely resembles is definitely F-Zero. The spaceships you pilot would not look out of place in that game at all. And there's also the fact that you're on a track with very obvious boundaries, which looks quite a bit like those in F-Zero. You have the same flickering engine lights at the back of your vehicle. You also have similar glowing panels on the floor that recharge your power bar. The whooshing noise made by the engines is also pretty much the same. The game is obviously using Mode 7, and all of these, what feel like little nods to F-Zero, kind of make it feel warm and familiar, despite the fact that before I began playing it for this review, I'd never even touched it before. So how does it control? Well, your ship is always constantly travelling forwards. You don't have to press an accelerator. If you need to slow down, then there's a button for this. But doing so actually causes your ship to slowly be damaged. There are only actually 2 buttons needed, one to brake and one to shoot, although the controls are mapped so A, Y and R all shoot and B, X and L all brake. This is kind of neat because you can then work out what feels more comfortable for you. Your D-pad moves the ship from left to right, but also up and down the screen so that you can steer and avoid enemies and obstacles. All of the controls feel nice and responsive, so whenever something goes wrong, it feels like your fault entirely, which is always a good sign. As I stated earlier, Hyperzone contains 8 levels, however if you finish these then the game restarts from the beginning with you continuing in your final ship and the game loops, apparently infinitely. If you like score chasing then you will probably like this game as it's very arcade-like. You can pick up and play this game in a second, it's very easy to get to grips with. My daughter came into the room while I was playing it and soon she was having a go and doing very well at the first level with no help at all. The thing is though that this game might be easy to pick up and the first level might be pretty easy, but boy does the difficulty really shoot up. The game is a darn hard game. You're going to have to develop some mad skills to get all of the way through it. Okay, so I guess it's time to score this bad boy. Well, I'd give it a 7 out of 10. I find the game very enjoyable, especially played in short bursts. It's easy to get into, but soon becomes hard. I think a lot of people would say too hard, but if you're the sort who likes a challenge, then this would appeal to you. I was pretty darn certain that this game never came out in Europe. I did some research, I talked to other collectors who seem to agree, and yet there are currently a bunch of PAL carts on eBay. I don't know, maybe they're counterfeit. I'm not entirely sure, but that's something to be wary of. So how much did I pay for this game? Well, I spent £4 on a Japanese cart. And if you want to try it, well, to be honest, prices seem to be all over the place. People seem to be asking for £18 for Japanese carts in this country, with an American import loose cart being a similar price after postage. These PAL carts, whether they're true or not, they seem to be selling for £18 to £25. I really don't know if they're real or not. I certainly can't remember ever seeing them in the UK when I was growing up. Maybe it didn't come out here, but it was released in other PAL territories like Australia. I guess sometimes with these old games, some of the info about where they were released and in what kind of numbers is just sort of lost to the past. So, it might be worth doing some more further research before buying a cart of it. Okay, that's Kerr 9000 signing off saying keep on gaming.